8 years. It had been 8 long years since Prophet Muhammad was forced to leave his beloved birthplace, Makkah, under the cover of night to save his life. He left as a refugee, but now, in the 8th year of Hijrah, he was returning, not as a fugitive, but with an army of 10,000 men. The city that tortured his followers and killed his loved ones was now at his feet. What would a conqueror do in this moment? The Prophet entered Makkah not with his head held high in pride, but bowed so low in humility that his beard almost touched his saddle. He gave strict orders to his generals: do not shed blood unless you are attacked. He declared safety for everyone. Those who stayed in their homes were safe. Those who entered the house of Abu Sufyan, his former arch enemy, were safe. Even those who took refuge in the Kaaba were safe. In a world where conquest meant looting and slaughter, this was unheard of. The first thing the Prophet did was reach the Kaaba. There were 360 idols surrounding the house of Allah. One by one, he pointed his staff at them, reciting the verse, "Truth has come, and falsehood has vanished. Surely falsehood is ever bound to vanish." Surah Al-Isra. The physical idols were broken, but the most important part was yet to come: the idols of hatred and revenge in the hearts of the people. The leaders of the Quraysh, the men who had persecuted the Muslims for 20 years, stood before him, trembling, expecting a death sentence. The Prophet asked them, "O Quraysh, what do you think I am going to do with you?" They replied, "You are a noble brother and the son of a noble brother." At that moment, the Prophet showed the world why he was sent as a mercy to the worlds. He quoted Prophet Yusuf and said, "No blame shall be upon you today. Go, for you are all free." He forgave them all. Even the man who killed his beloved uncle Hamza was forgiven. Makkah didn't fall to the sword, it fell to the character of the Prophet. Fatah Makkah teaches us that the greatest victory is not over land but over hearts. Power is not shown by how you punish, but by how you forgive when you have the upper hand. In our daily lives, when someone hurts us and we have the chance to get back at them, remember the day of Makkah. If this story touched your heart, share it to spread the message of Islamic mercy.